All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are playing Deadlands tonight, continuing our Blood Drive campaign. We are sadly again down our Canadian vigilante, but he will return. He's off saving the planet from hosers and stuff, so he will be back soon. Praise Jack, and yeah. But I got other interesting folks here tonight. We had a lot of fun last time, beating up on Tommy knockers and trying to break Broncos and things like that. So, but we're gonna progress and maybe even pull up stakes and actually get the drive a moving. So we'll see. All right, so let's see. Let's just do introductions and get going, right? So, Jeremy, who are you playing?
I'm going to be playing Dr. Byron, Cuspid. I'm just your friendly residential dentist, and I will admit perhaps there's a kernel of truth to some of the rumors you've heard of mad science, but I want you to understand there's been a great deal of misunderstanding. I could talk for hours about how teeth, not eyes, are the gateway to the soul, but I don't want to bore you. Needless to say, I'm here to help.
Indeed he is. You have several powers, right? Which powers did we see last time around? Because did we see one?
Yeah, we've seen relief, which is the one where I can remove exhaustion. We've seen deflection, the Bluetooth field. And we've seen
that's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
bolt, which we flavored as like a monofilament chain whip.
Yeah.
Of teeth.
Yeah, I was trying to remember which one was the Bluetooth thing. Bluetooth signal. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically the Dune shield, but with teeth.
It seems like it. Yeah. Yeah. Right on. We'll see if it comes into play tonight. Some things I have up I don't have sleeves, but yeah, they're up there somewhere, pretty far up. Let's see. Matt's not here, so let's go down to the bottom row. We got Adam. Adam, who are you playing?
I'm playing Eustace Ellsworth, and I'm useful sometimes because I'm useful Eustace. Well, I don't really care what you have to say about that.
I think Adam actually is completely drunk right now.
This is the wrong drink. And if I happen to just up and disappear for about 30 seconds at some point, just know I'll be back.
Okay.
Because I need to get another drink.
Okay. Yeah, I think Adam's been drinking for the past 14 hours in preparation for the stream tonight. So he's really getting into the RP. I don't know whether or not
they call that method acting. And there is a method to the madness, and there's a madness to the method.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy, did you pull teeth today as a dentist?
I mean, I would imagine so. If anybody was having any trouble, he would like to offer his services whenever possible.
Okay. Just curious. All right, next up, we got Chuck. Chuck, who are you playing? Don't tell him. Guys, don't tell him he's muted. Don't tell him. Oh, look at! Don't tell him. Don't tell him we still can't hear him.
There it is. The light wasn't blinking. Oh my gosh. What a day. I'm playing John Ives. He's just plain old normal gunslinger. The center line of mental health in our party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely no weird dark secrets in your past that come to roost. We were talking about method acting and how Adam's been drinking like crazy today, and Jeremy's been pulling teeth and doing root canals and stuff. Have you been method acting today for John?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I jumped a homeless guy in the alley and ate his leg.
Well, there you go. See, there you go.
It was great. Well, it wasn't great. It was really gamey, but
oh god. Okay. Like how everyone's really getting into their characters. We're all Robert De Niro in this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And then finally, we've got Melissa. Melissa, who are you playing?
So I am playing Anna Tabo. She is the Wrangler Ranch hand type. who is born in the saddle and has beast bond, and so those two things theoretically should have helped with this whole like wrangling of devil eyes. So
Yeah.
we're going to need to have round 2 of that. And no, I did not go roping today.
Yeah.
So I am apparently the least committed of all of us to this.
Oh, don't worry. I
endeavor.
think everyone knows that.
You know,
That's
it's hard to
abundantly
achieve the level of dedication
It's true.
that I have. For
See,
Jeff.
and Anna's known you long enough to just go in the direction of like, I'm not even trying, and then I can't fail.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. For Deadlands fans, there is a Kickstarter going on for Deadlands. We are not even remotely affiliated. We're not affiliated with anybody. I just say stuff because I think it's cool. So like, there's a Hell on the High Plains Kickstarter going on right now for Deadlands. For at least a couple more weeks, I think. So I'm backing it. I don't know if anybody else here is, but I'm totally backing it because I really like Deadlands. And anytime I get to run Deadlands, that means that Jeremy is going to talk like Dr. Cuspid. So it's it's like a win-win for me. So yeah. All right. So let's get going. So we're pretty early into our campaign here. So we are in Texas. We are in a town called Sutter's Flats and the surrounding areas. You are a group of drifters or such. Some of you are more local than others. And you have found your way here for different reasons. And on your first arrival in this very small 3-building town of Sutter's Flats, you all got in a bit of a tussle with representatives of the Bayou Vermilion. Which is one of the railroad companies that is very, very powerful, especially along the southern edge of the states. And in the process of doing so, you killed all but one of them. You let one free, and that one went back to tell the tale. And then you got recruited because of everything you did, because of how rough and tumble you all looked. You looked it looked like you needed work. You needed someone to sort of kind of maybe a crowd to hide in, or just like minds or something like that. But Bill Sutter came, offered you all a job. Said they were doing a cattle drive, heading out north pretty soon. Offered you all jobs, and you all took that job. And last time we spent some time working, actually doing some chores, doing some things around the ranch itself. You all have been trying to break some broncos. There's about 6 broncos you got to break. One of them is Devil Eyes, as Melissa already said. Very, very powerful, almost devilish in their sort of appearance. They just have this very ornery kind of ambiance to them. They seem tougher and rougher than all the others. Anna took her chances, didn't succeed. Byron, I think Cuspid electrocuted all the horses at some point, and I think Eustace tried to give one booze. So it was a really interesting process to try to win over those horses. Then you all went out into the wild. You tried to hunt down some cattle because there's a bunch of cattle that are still missing, and that was like your main task. Is Luke, the foreman of the cattle drive, kind of gave you that task. In the process of doing so, Cuspid and Ives, you found a trail of blood that led to an old abandoned mine, and inside that mine there was a Tommyknocker, a couple of them actually, that were eaten away at one of the cattle. You managed to save one of the 2 cattle and brought them back, whereas Anna and Eustace came across a young man named Franklin who had befriended 2 cattle, one named Penelope and one named Stevie, and you managed to talk him into coming back with you to the Lazy Ass Ranch and bringing the cattle along with him. So we'll say day passes. It's only been about 24 hours or so since you all last tried your task at getting these old Broncos things. But the morning comes, and once again, Luke, the foreman of the Lazy Ass, comes up to you all and says, y'all didn't do so hot yesterday with your attempts at getting them horses under control, and there were 6 of them. that were not yet broken, and there still appear to be 6 of them that are not yet broken. So I'm getting a little concerned with this. Now, granted, y'all did a much better job collecting some of our lost doggies. So we'll make sure that's what the task is for you all this afternoon. But I mean, it's breakfast time, and pretty much the whole darn drive is watching y'all now. And I'll tell you, if you can't break a few of these things, it's going to be a long and very uncomfortable ride for some of you, as no one's really going to take y'all much seriously.
See, that's where I think there's a big misunderstanding of how horses work.
How horses work. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Enlighten me there, Mr. Ellsworth.
Well, I mean, if you break them, then they're kaput. They break. So you just got to, get on their good side and make sure they're all copacetic with it. And
I see the confusion here. See, you think when we say break, it's like breaking a bone, and it's actually one of them colloquialisms, where break doesn't actually mean we break it in half or something. No,
well,
it's really just.
I understand that it ain't literal, that it is metaphorical.
Okay.
And that breaking of a spirit.
Sure. Well, how about this? How about you literally go ahead and finish up them beans, and then metaphorically get your ass over in that there corral there and get your ass working again, because those horses ain't gonna break themselves.
See, I like it how you said metaphorically, because if I was to literally get my ass working, that would not be anything anyone would want to see.
I would never expect to see that. Nor one.
All right. Well, I guess I'll. As I, pass gas as I'm getting up and.
Oh my! Come on now. And
here, put that in your book.
People just move off to the side.
That's very wonderfully classy of you, Eustace. But I agree with you. I agree with your take on breaking too. So I believe it's time for some electric boogaloo.
Okay. Yeah, we saw that little thingamajig you use. That's all fine and good, but just make sure that's not gonna permanently scar them or nothing, because there are a couple really good high-powered horses in there. We might want to make some baby little horses from them someday, so we don't want any of your fancy gizmos. You just make sure that you keep it, at medium level. Don't turn them up to 11 or anything.
Never. I would never, ever ruin any of your property. I assure you.
Okay.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
With a smile like that, I got to tell you, I feel a little bit worse and nervous and scared right now, to be honest. All right, Doc. I'm just going to go ahead and let you be about your business. And Ms. Anna, Devil Eyes, no one's made any progress yet. So if you want her, she's yours.
I'll try my best to put him in a good mood for you, Miss Anna.
All right, so let's dive back into this. So yeah, we'll do this really fast. I know they wanted another shot. It's basically a writing roll, but if you have like a legitimate way of trying to break them otherwise, you can try. Like intimidation is referenced here and there, but you want to make sure it's like if it's an intimidation edge that sort of requires human perception or understanding, they don't really apply. So remember that in order to fully break the horse, you need to success plus raise. So you actually need to go raise on your roll. Success just means you don't get hurt or fatigued in the process, but you need a raise if you actually want to break anything. And whoever tries with Devil Eyes gets a -2 modifier on their check.
I don't think I'm going to wait for Dr. Cuspid to do his connecting thing that he does.
Yeah, they did respond well to it. I hope that perhaps repeated exposure to this will make them more inclined to allow your, well, I don't know what you would call your version of breaking, your adapting.
It's just a little sweet whisper in there, like whispering, That way you communicate. Yeah, you communicate with them instead of just telling them what to do.
So single success on all the regular horses, but the -2 would keep me from succeeding on.
Okay. All right. So anybody who tries to break a regular horse today will get a +1 on your roll from Dr. Cuspid's techno gadget. But anybody who tries to do Devil Eyes does not get that. Does not get that bonus.
It was close. I was one away.
So
if you want, I'd be willing to Benny it for you.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you refreshed them all, so you started a session, so you got your 3. So
You'll need
Okay.
bennies for other things, and I get a reroll. So
all right.
all right.
Oh, that's
Honest-
true.
Do you want to
Anna's
just jump right to
gonna-
it, Anna?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Not gonna think about it. Just going for it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we talked about last time is Born in the Saddle gets me a free reroll. My Beast Bond doesn't do anything because it is not yet my companion, and it's not yet under my control. So I will get the reroll, and I will. Let's see. Anything else I can do to bump this up?
Nope, nothing I can think of.
All right, because I got the free reroll, so there's nobody needed for
Yeah.
that. All right. Riding, roll.
You need to get an ace, I think. Oh, no.
All right, and then can try it again.
Okay, so this is your re-roll from your
That's my free
edge.
reroll.
Okay. What? I'm an image Kargan? So Anna climbs on top of old Devil Eyes.
Damn.
He's flopping all over the place. You're not on for more than 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds before you just kind of get thrown off, which is honestly probably the longest anyone's been on before.
Can I spend a Benny?
I think so, because you haven't spent, I think you can only spend it. So I think you're fine. You can try it a third time here.
All right, so I'm gonna spend a Benny. Sorry, I should have just re-rolled. That's fine.
That's all good.
One last time.
Here we go.
Oh,
No.
damn.
Man.
It's so close, right? It's so close multiple times. You see Anna just kind of hanging on there. You see the horse just sort of almost bend into like this sort of lowercase n as it's like arcing its back in such a like a tight angle. And like Anna probably hangs on there longer than anyone else, and you hear like oohs and ahs, like people cheering from the crowd. Go get him, Anna! Go get him! You see Franklin over to the side, like watching, like kind of feeding straw off to Penelope and Stevie. Come on, Mama, come on! And after 6, 7 seconds, not quite all the way to 8, you just get thrown, and down you go. Okay. Let's see.
And Anna just kind of takes her hat off and just kind of holds it over her face because she was sure she was going to be able to get this done.
There's no shame in it. You showed pure determination. I guarantee you every person in this camp is jealous of your skill.
And John or Eustace, you want to take a shot at something?
Yeah, Eustace will do it.
Okay.
He'll try the same technique he used last time. He'll try and go up to the horse from the front, and he'll be speaking, nice soothing tones. He'll say, "Hey there, I know everyone in the world is just trying to get something from you. Ain't nobody want to respect you for the free spirit you are." As I start reaching out and petting it, and I don't want to break you. I just want you to be who you are, and I ask that you take me along with you. I'll uncork the bottle that I'm drinking from, and I'll drink from it, and I'll hold it in front of the horse to see if it's curious or not.
Well, you definitely get the as the cork is open, and it is quite a potent smell. Why don't you roll your check, and we'll see how this horse reacts.
Now, did we say it was persuasion last?
I think that's what we did. Yeah.
Okay. And you say we get a +1 because of
+1 from Cuspid. Yeah. People are just kind of like, "What the hell's Eustace doing?" And so the horse goes.
Now hold it out.
You hold it out. Lips kind of wrap around the end, and it just kind of takes it gently from your hands. Just.
There you go. That's the spirit.
Just drops the bottle onto the ground.
Literally.
Just starts licking your face. It's just
Literally,
like
that's
it's looking
the
for
spirit.
more.
Well, I ain't got no more, but we can get you some. We can get you some. It's all right. I'm going to need to refill myself. But hey, how about we go together? As I'll start like moving my hand down its neck and onto its back and, like essentially ask for permission to get up on the horse.
And the horse just kind of leans down, kind of gets, and like it's like giving you permission. It's like lowering itself down ever so slightly.
Without a saddle, I hop on.
You climb up on top, and there's Big Bill Sutter, like just a few steps away behind the fence. Like, well, ain't that just the damnedest thing?
Got any rock gut? This one likes the rock gut.
Well,
what's
rock
his name?
gut it is. All right, I think it's rock gut now. I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
Well, rock gut, we're gonna be friends.
You are what you drink. Okay. All right. So that's 100% a success and raise. So you get the horse. That horse is yours. It's not Devil Eye, so there's no like crazy bonus or anything to it. So it's just a basic veteran.
You can call me
horse.
Aviation.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I understand your process clearly, you ply them with alcohol, you whisper sweet nothings in their ear, you proceed to heavy petting, and then you ask for permission.
Well, when you say it like that, yeah.
Well played.
He's just like Luke the Foreman, just kind of takes his hat off. He's like, "What? But he was like farting down it, and then no, never mind. I'm not engaging." He just kind of starts walking away.
Put that in your book too.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, John Ives. Do you want to take a shot at Devil Eyes, or do you want to do a regular horse?
No, a regular horse.
Okay. All right.
I know my place. Everyone else had all these fancy tacks and tricks. I am just going to pick out the horse that I tried yesterday.
Sure.
I'm just going to run up and just leap at it and just all effort, no form.
Just as fast as you can. Spring.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll. Lords and ladies of faith, thank you so much for the raid.
Welcome.
We are playing Deadlands. Still just pretty early, just getting started. So good time to come on over. Hope you had a good game tonight. Right now, John Ives / Chuck is trying to hop onto a horse in a very awkward way. We just broke a horse by feeding it booze, and so now Chuck's going to try something else. So Chuck, go ahead and roll it.
Yeah, and I get a +1 on this, right?
+1 from Cuspid's electroshock therapy.
There we go. All effort.
Describe how this works, buddy, because it works. It's a raise and everything.
It's not so much that I run and I leap on this thing's back and just it submits to my will. No, I run and I leap on its back and I kind of more so put it in a chokehold, like from behind. And it struggles. It can't get rid of me, but it struggles and it fights. And then eventually the horse must it kicks in like crap. If I don't submit, he's just going to choke me out and probably going to eat me here where I lay. So it gives up. I've broken it of spirit.
Okay.
Spirit
And
of
if this Anna is just like watching and she's just shaking her head and shaking her head, and then it freaking works. And so you just see her just like kicking the dirt and kind of like kicking the post of the corral. And she just sort of like just hat in the hair, just sort of walks away.
I mean, Cuspid's electric shock therapy works. Ellsworth convinces a horse to be broken by simply giving it rot gut. And Ives puts one in a headlock, and that works too. But the actual, one who's trained to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But let's be fair to yourself. They may as well be wrestling kittens in comparison.
Still, none of that nonsense over there should work. But
they should not.
You go ahead and you're up next.
He already did his thing.
Oh.
He did.
You want me to try to ride one of these?
Might as well. I mean, it's working for everybody else. Might
You
as well
should
ride the
Give the
wave.
main one a try.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think that sound. Make sure to turn your Bluetooth on first.
Yeah, no one's gotten actually hurt yet. That's the other thing. Like, there's ways to get hurt by these. If you want to, I'll tell you what, Jeremy. If you want to get a free shot at old Devil Eyes, you're welcome to give it a try.
If that would make you feel better, Miss Anna, I will humiliate myself for your enjoyment.
Okay.
You don't get the sense that Anna would feel any better, that Anna would feel any better about this. It's more of the sarcastic of like, everybody else that isn't supposed to be good at this is succeeding, so go right ahead.
If he succeeds at this is
It's a single.
so close. So close.
It's just a 4, which is a single success.
Is a success.
But you need a full raise to actually tame him. So strangely enough, Anna, he hops on, and everyone's and like you hear like, you know, people's like, ain't no way that crazy kook of a doctor's gonna stay up there as long as Miss Anna did. Ain't no way. And they start taking bets here and there. People are like, I'll give 10 to 1 odds, and then people are kind of switching out here and there coins and cash and beans and such. And then Cuspid gets up there, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. It's like, oh my God, I think he might get. And then he gets thrown right off, right around the same time you did, Anna. So both of you get this close, but not quite. Not quite. All right.
I feel terribly nauseous. This is a horrible idea. I do not know why any of you would volunteer for such a labor.
And Anna is thin-skinned. That's one of her hindrances. So
Okay.
this is gonna be kind of
Oh, no.
crawl for the rest of the day.
Okay. So we'll say then, you know, Bill Sutter comes up afterwards. As it looks like old Luke just doesn't want to. Like, I ain't dealing with this. I ain't dealing with this right now. This is ridiculous. This ain't a circus here. And so Bill comes in and says, well, y'all did a pretty good job there. It's pretty good. Almost got old Devil Eyes, both of you. That's good, Doc. Yeah, I mean, I ain't no way looking at you. I think you know one end of the horse from the other, but clearly you did a pretty good job. Anyway, we still got plenty of lost doggies out there, so quit hanging around and sitting and resting on your laurels and stuff, and get on out there. We got plenty of doggies to bring back here because we want to get this whole show on the road now. So let's go. Come on, daylight's wasted. Do you guys want to go out together again, or do you want to go out separately again, or do you want to go out together?
Well, I mean, we had success yesterday doing it separately, but y'all did, you didn't get the chance to see the real cool shit that we did. So maybe y'all tag along and we go as a big group. We can find something new to shoot today.
We're getting more cattle.
Get more cattle. They say doggies, but they mean cows.
Okay.
Let's all go together. That
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
Okay. Someone's got to roll a survival -2. But people can, if they want to support ahead of time, you can go ahead and do that too. Just say how you're doing it.
Yeah. It's just Anna's just kind of riding off on her own.
Yeah.
Like,
well, someone's got to roll to sort of track down some. You had the general area where you're supposed to be searching, like a specific quadrant over by the Rio Grande, and so it's just like someone's got to take the lead in trying to find any signs of them. Anybody can roll a trait roll to try to add support to the survival test, but it's made at default at -2, so it's up to you if you wanted to try to support in some way.
I can roll. I can do the main roll.
Okay. How does anybody want to try to give old John Ives some help before he rolls that?
I guess Anna could do a notice.
Okay.
If that works.
Sure, that's fine. Kind of just keep your eyes peeled here and there for anything in the distance. Okay.
Hey, did I ever tell you about that one time that we was back at San Antonio and he just starts going on and he's trying to lighten the mood. You know, that one time Anna, she said that that wasn't a good idea. And I told her, no, this is a fantastic idea. Well, she was right. It wasn't a good idea. And that's how I got this. This scar right here. It's just, got in a fight with a doctor and he won.
Doctors are notoriously vicious creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Did try to convince me afterward that women folk dig scars or some such thing. That has really come to pass yet, but maybe it'll work out for you.
I mean, I know better than Anna does about that, don't I? Wait,
What are we even talking about now? I wanted to start looking for cows.
Anna failed her
I
notice.
think someone has to save us from this conversation.
Okay. Unless Cuspid or Eustace want to help you, it's at -2 Ives.
Yeah, I want to help him.
I
right,
can't
how are you-
think of anything offhand very well.
Trying to lighten the mood, keep everything good.
Okay. All right. I mean, roll persuasion, I guess. Yeah. Trying to keep Anna back on task or something. Yeah. Sure.
I mean, she's seeming like she's not doing so hot.
Oh
she's
dear.
like,
Good
I'm
God.
just trying to, lighten the mood because she's mad. And if I make a fool of myself, I'll just.
Clearly did that very well with that roll.
Eustace just takes a drink, leans down, feeds Rockgut a drink, passes it around. Everyone else takes a drink after Rockgut takes his drink. Okay. That's actually a +2, so that's now we're even. Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy.
Since I know that there are Tommyknockers in there, could I maybe roll my occult to try and think of like how spread out they usually are, to think of like where they might be located and how that might corral things, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. Go for it. So you're specifically like looking for any signs of like these occult strange creatures that might have a taste for him now. Everybody gets a Benny. Thank you, Ashley. Oh dear. Oh dear.
God.
Wow.
Oh my God. So many 6s.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Those are some rolls.
I really know a lot about the occult. It is a personal pleasure of mine.
We're better
So-
at assisting our teammates rather than actually doing the deed.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like you guys pass by a series of like old mines and stuff here and there, including the one that you all had your problems with. But you know what to look for at this point: any signs of Tommyknockers. You look for signs of them breaking out. He's looking for any signs of blow, and you're just kind of keeping an eye out, feeling the earth, looking any sort of tremors or stuff like that. Those things seem to be a telltale sign. But you haven't really noticed any. And also, you didn't really notice them out in the light, and so you're probably getting the feel that they might be a little bit more like the subterranean or at night type of deal. And so while the day is bright, you think you're probably okay as long as you pick up the pace and such. So Ives, you get to make it with a +2.
Nice. All right. Got a 12. Yeah.
Okay. So, don't mind me. All right. So, yeah, you travel around for a bit, and you actually start finding quite a few. Most of them are kind of off. They're stuck here and there. You get one or two that's like kind of stuck in mud, or looks like they had some kind of old metal, rusted metal, kind of stuck in its foot. Easy enough stuff for you all to take care of. It doesn't really require any kind of rolls or anything like that. But you start like accruing a good 2, 3, 4, and at a certain point you actually come across one because you hear like this weird sort of sound of like cows kind of coming off from what looks like some sort of shaded gully little area. And when you find it, you find the source, you see that there's this really, really heavy and sickly looking cow, and you realize, Dr. Cuspid, you probably get this right away, you too probably, Anna, that looks like this cow is fixing to give birth, and it seems to be struggling a bit as it's just sort of like mooing out in pain. And every time you try to like kind of get it up onto its feet to start moving in your direction, you just see it just doesn't seem to want to get going. And it's just looking at it, something doesn't seem quite right. It looks like it's hurt or it's sickly or something. You're not entirely sure what, but something's complicated matters. So how do y'all want to handle this?
Anna's gonna roll up her sleeves and then look at Dr. Cuspid and just say, I know I have birthed some cows before. Is this part of your area of expertise as well?
I have done studies beyond the human form, yes.
Have you birthed a cow before?
I have read and studied enough that I feel I could apply a goodly portion of my knowledge. I would be glad to assist you.
Okay. All right.
Don't you two worry. I got this. I once read in a book as I take my Bowie knife out about this thing called cesarean. And you just stab the mother in the gut a couple times.
No.
And then the baby just pops right out.
But there are things you can do before that. So Anna's gonna look at Eustace and just say, "Can I get some of that for my hands?" And just kind of hold it out to your bottle.
Oh, well, yeah. Anything you say, Anna. And I'll pour some on her hands.
And you hear Rotgut the horse go, getting kind of upset at wasting it.
I'm sorry.
Kind of starts to shake you on the saddle a little bit here and there.
There, if you think you could let Rocket lick your hands real quick?
No, the whole point was to get them clean. So,
well, I mean,
not.
And don't they say a horse's mouth is cleaner than a human's mouth or something like that?
I just think that's something that they say, Eustace. So Anna is going to stick her hand up in there and see what she can do to get these.
Okay. Cuspid, were you going to assist? You said you had an idea.
I would like to very much. I actually do have the medical skill. I do have healing.
Go for it. That's perfect.
So I'll roll that to assist.
And Anna will look over at John and say, we might just need that knife, but I'd like to give it a shot first.
All right. Well, when it comes time, just make sure your fingers are out of the way while you're inside there. That way I don't accidentally nick you.
Let's see. We just got a Benny a little bit ago, right?
Yeah.
I'll spend that. I would like to actually be helpful. This is not exactly my expertise, but I'll try not to get in the way at least.
Hey, why don't you go and boil some water?
Take a +1 on it.
What am I rolling exactly? I don't actually know I'm good at this.
So if there's a medicine, that would be ideal. If you have healing, that's it. Healing. If you have healing, that would be the ideal roll. You can have a +1 for this.
All right. I think I'm doing that right.
Well, there you go. Okay. With a raise, too.
Nice.
So, Anna, it was a rough morning for you, but you're redeeming yourself at this point as you roll the sleeves up and you get on in there, and it's, a few minutes later, the ground and yourself, your arms, just kind of covered in all sorts of nasty mess. But there is a brand new fresh baby calf that comes on out, looks supremely healthy, kind of stumbles around a bit here and there, but you're able to kind of clean it up, kind of get it fixed up. Takes a little time. But with your raise, you do notice, though, that as you're helping out Mama seems to have suffered a series of wounds on her body. Quite a few, in fact. You might say possibly dozens, and she looks quite ill. However, you think you've managed, she's lost a lot of blood, but you do think you've managed to kind of to sort of keep her from passing as well with that raise. Had you just gotten a regular success, that might not have been the case, but you're kind of able to sort of stem some bleeding here and there. But you do notice, she's certainly covered in a series of wounds, like little small ones, but wounds nonetheless.
So Anna will kind of look back to John and just say, like, well, I didn't need your knife, but maybe you can have the honors of giving this one a name.
Oh, the little cow. We're gonna call that one a T-bone.
T-bone. Okay.
And then Anna's going to turn to Dr. Cuspid and just say, can you take a look at these wounds? I mean, there's so many wounds on this.
That is perplexing. I would love nothing better than to inspect these.
Sure. Medicine would be great.
Okay, I will and I will. Do.
Oh,
I really do
Okay.
enjoy inspecting mysterious injuries.
So it definitely looks like something has been sort of sucking on this cow's blood, has been eating away at it. You don't see signs of what that could be. Something an insect-like, maybe ticks, possibly. Probably the most obvious culprit, but you don't see any ticks on the creature. And at one point, you do find sort of a couple of the fresher bites have like a kind of peculiar substance as well, and you think it might be some kind of poison, something. You're not quite sure what. It's not big enough necessarily to be like a snake bite, like you've seen rattler bites and things. And no, they're not quite like this. So whatever it is, it's not only exsanguinating the creature, but it's also potentially using some kind of poison. You would guess after kind of rubbing it around in your fingers for a bit, they get kind of numb. You would guess it's some kind of paralytic poison.
It would seem that Tommyknockers are not the only thing that have been feeding upon cattle out here. These bites do not match up with what we saw yesterday. No, it's hard to tell exactly what it is doing it. But it is sucking their blood. They are injecting some sort of paralytic venom. Is that enough for me to try some sort of occult check?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I know, like, yesterday he was suspicious of chupacabras, and he's trying to recall in his head, do chupacabras have paralytic bites?
I'll roll it over your knowledge. It's like you know that chupacabra. Well,
he may not know. That's why I figured maybe that's the main question he has in his head.
So you're specifically you specifically want to know, since you're suspecting chupacabra, whether or not they have. Okay. Go ahead and roll that occult test.
One hot night,
man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wasting all your good.
Wasting
rolls.
all the good rolls. That's for sure.
I cannot wait to get into the fight with you.
Yeah, we're doomed.
Let me see. Let me check. I got to check actually really quick. I want to check something really fast. But just looking it up. Okay, so yeah, you would be certain. Now that you've given it some more thought, you've had a night to sleep on it. I don't think the chupacabras are definitely they're bloodsuckers for sure, but poison? No, that doesn't quite sound like them.
Someday I'm gonna get a chupacabra tooth. Not today. Damn it.
I'll be there to cut it out of that damn thing's head.
Whoa.
Good day.
Whatever it is horrible. So we'll want to put our... Actually, let me apologize. I assume that there may be some thought that perhaps we should primarily seek to get these cows back to the group. But I would make the argument that we should try to track down whatever this thing is to try and prevent further harm to the herd, as it were.
Well, that's the question I was about to ask. Do we hunt it down to keep it from happening again, or just take the cows home and forget about it?
I think anytime we can rid this area of a nuisance, it's be a benefit to our employers.
Yes.
I'll pull my 6-shooters out. Let's get to hunting.
Going
Eustace,
on
you up for
varmint
some
hunting?
Huh?
Are we going varmint hunting?
Yeah, we're going something that sucks blood and has poison. And we're going to shoot it, not in the face.
Why not the face?
That way we can get its teeth for Dr. Cuspid here.
I mean, if it is if you're in a bind, do what you need to do, of course.
All right, 4 headshots only. That way you don't get the mouth.
I ain't got a gun, so I'm all right.
Okay. Roll. Someone wants to try to track. Roll a survival test. See if you can pick up a trail from maybe where this cow came from.
I can roll it again. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, this is a little different.
Any penalties?
Nope. Just literally just trying to see if you can pick up the tracks of where this cow last came from.
I got a 5. Is that success in this?
That's a success. Four is a
four
success.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all you need is a 4. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard to find actually. Like it's a big old cow, and it's in this little kind of shaded gully, and you pick up sort of what looks like where she, before she kind of fell down. Now, question is, are you like, I know there was, are you bringing her? Are you bringing the calf? Are you bringing all the other ones too? Like you got about like around 4 or 5 now at this point. Do you bringing them all with you, or you leaving them?
She can move, I would say.
I would say because of Cuspid's sort of higher raised roll there, he could probably kind of clean some of the poison out, give her a little bit of time to rest, maybe an hour or 2, and then she seems to get a little bit of her legs about her. She's still a little woozy, but yeah, you can probably move her. Okay, so yeah, you are bringing them in.
I think
Sounds
so.
like it, yeah.
So then we can just
Okay.
beeline back home once we're done.
That's fine. All right, so yeah, you follow Ives for a bit, who's kind of picking up on this trail, and eventually you come across this like cottonwood grove, and you can see like, there's kind of these dried out trees here and there. There's a kind of higher level, kind of higher grass, kind of big old boulders, kind of weaving in and out of what looks like some hills that kind of narrow it down, and at a certain point, you guys start to notice that there's something more than boulders that seems to be lying about in the high grass. As you're watching, you notice that there are several corpses of some cattle. You almost do a double take because at first it just looked like a big old rock, but then you look on over and you realize, no, that ain't a rock. And so they're kind of all spread out here and there all over the place, but there's several of these things.
I think that's where we need to go down there. I'll go scout it out. You'll follow me.
All right then.
So yeah, I'll sneak down there, see if I can get eyes on anything.
Okay. So you weave on down, and when you get kind of close, are you on your horse or are you by yourself? Or are you just like kind of getting up?
I would have, to do this, I would have hopped off Elmer.
Okay, so you hop off Elmer, kind of carefully work your way down, and you guys are all watching old Ives as he's just sort of sneaking very carefully, like he kind of dips down beneath some of the high grass, and at a certain point, you see the top of his hat, and he just drops out of sight. As Ives, you kind of sneaking in between a couple of these different kind of cow corpses, and you see this one relatively recent corpse that is just laying there. It's kind of heaving, and it's like in its last throes of death. But as you move up towards it, like the ground just kind of collapses beneath you.
Okay.
And this swarm of spiders starts just rushing up out of the earth, sweeping all the way over top of you and over this poor little cattle. Let's go ahead and move into some initiative then.
Ugh.
All right. So let me move you on over. We'll rearrange the map here in a sec. Let me move you on over to where we're at.
Spiders. Why do it have to be spiders?
Spiders. All right. So it sounded like Ives was up ahead. So Ives, you're going to be right around there in the midst of all of that. And I think the rest of you are kind of a ways back, including your cattle. So I'm going to move you all back a bit.
So did we have like an hour or 2 of rest? If we let the cow rest for an hour or 2, does
Oh
that
yeah,
mean
yeah.
that
You could have had a short rest. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cool. That means I get some power points back.
So, in addition to this, as the earth kind of falls and kind of collapses, and you guys see that like he collapses into the earth, and kind of lose his head for a moment, and you scramble up, Ives, as you're kind of just covered in all of these different spiders, and you kind of look around and you're sort of trying to sweep them off as best as you can. You notice burrowing up from the ground just a few feet away, you see what basically looks like a large spider, kind of woolly, hairy. It's about the size of a dog as it goes, leans back. It's like it's getting ready to spring in your direction, and that's when we'll pick it up in combat.
Oh no.
All right, so let me add you all to the initiative tracker. And I'm just trying to make sure I don't accidentally add your horses and things like that.
Jeff, the spiders actually crawl.
Yeah, the spiders actually crawl.
It's like super gross.
I go all out and I try to do maps because I have no life, and this is the only way I find happiness and joy in life. Okay. All right, so that's
I wonder if spiders, if they get that big, I wonder if you can like boil them up like you do crabs.
All right.
I would not recommend that. That seems like a terrible idea. In general, if you don't have a strong understanding of a poisonous creature, you should not eat it.
Wait, is it poisonous or venomous? I think that's the difference.
Well, true. You are correct. I understand it's actually venomous.
Now,
so it's safety.
Good news is that Ives, you get to go first. Bad news is I need you to roll a fear test first. So roll spirit.
Oh, God.
As you are now covered in a swarm of spiders, while another large, like dog-sized spider has just popped up out of the ground and is rearing back, almost looking like he's getting ready to jump on you.
All right. I take a -1 because of my hindrance thing. I get a 4.
Okay, that is enough. That's good. All he needs is a 4, and it's got to be like a little unsettling, but not to the point where you're like freaking out in any specific way. But you look in every which way, there are all these spiders. You can see that poor cow that's next to you that you saw, like that was still sort of breathing. It's just now getting like chomped on and ripped on. You see all of them are biting into them. They're biting into your arms as well. What would you like to do?
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, you're up first, man.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, you got really lucky.
I start blasting.
Okay.
And I want to blast the big one. I'm going to start shooting it.
Yes.
All right. So
you have a pistol, right? And you have pistols, so you're fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. First shot.
So you're getting ready to fire, and right before you pull the trigger, you see like there's this whole run right down your arm. There are all these smaller spiders that are kind of covering, and you just start firing wildly. Unless you would like to Benny that up. Trevlix, we are using Foundry. That's what we use for our set. It's because Savage Worlds has like there's official content for it.
All right, that gets me up to a 5. Yeah.
5 is good. Go ahead and roll your damage. Oh boy.
Oh. 12.
Okay. 12 is enough, I think, to... I mean, 12, that's
a lot.
1. I'm trying to count how many. That's 2. It's basically 2 raises. You know what? You kill it. Yeah, you totally kill it. It just doesn't make sense for me to use anything on this. And you manage to, despite being swarmed by all these things, you aim down. You're covered. Your arms covered in all these spiders, and you just and through this just giant spider swarm, you manage to, as this thing leaps up in the air like it's about to jump on you, and as it's flying through the air, right in the center of its mandibles. Yeah. Okay.
But the swarm is still a threat, right?
Swarm is still a threat, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if this will be effective, but it's the tool I have, so I shoot with my other hand into the swarm.
Yes, you may go ahead and fire.
All right, I do take a. I take a -2 to this.
So you point down. They're everywhere. Shake your hand, and you just you fire, and you kill one of these small spiders. But you're right in the suspecting that like gunfire into a singular swarm isn't really going to do much. But you do manage to probably take out 1 or 2 of them. But ultimately, the swarm is still mostly intact here.
So I can still move, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then I clear out of the swarm. Just fall back a little ways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Okay.
my turn.
All right. Next up, Eustace, it's your turn.
All right, so there is a cow inside this swarm.
Yes, there is a cow inside the swarm. You can see like there's a white one on the screen in the middle of all those spiders in the middle.
All right, so and can you move diagonal in this with your pace?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can always run as well, and so like you get to do that on your turn if you want, which means you roll your running die, and you add that to your pace, and that's how much you can move.
Oh, okay. So does that take
Or
up
you
your
could just-
action, or
you can just roll regular run, like or you can just move your regular pace.
all right? Let's try this.
Oops, sorry about that.
Does running take up your action?
No, not in this case.
Yeah. If you want to use the actual run dice to like run extra far, that's when you have to spend
Mhm.
like an actual action doing it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll just move my pace then. 4, 5, 6, and I'm gonna start calling towards the cow. Like, come here, come on, get out of there. And as I called towards the cow, I'm gonna throw the bottle of rocket that I was working on into the center of this, and I'll be like, "Anybody got any fire?" As I'm trying to get something flammable in this swarm.
Gotcha. Right on. Smart. Okay, you're all set. You all done?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to convince the cow to come towards me.
Yeah, they this thing was laying on its side, basically dead or close to dead. It's probably not the type of thing that's going to be able to just get up and move. It's probably more along the lines of you're going to have to kill the swarm to save it. I think if that's what you're after.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to burn the cow too.
Well, you threw it down there, so if someone shoots it, it probably will burn the cow. All right, it'll be the swarm's turn next. That's a big old thing. It's gonna move over in this direction to the north, so that it's gonna cover with. So the way a swarm works is it's a blast template, and in this case, it's going to take up. It's a 4x4, effectively a 4-inch diameter. So it's gonna 4x4 squares. It's gonna cover. It's gonna kind of move in the direction of Eustace. It's gonna continue to cover. Some of them are still gonna cover and attack the cow. Others are going to attack and start swarming and biting Ellsworth. So the swarm doesn't have to actually roll to attack. It just rolls damage. And whether that damage manages to do anything, then that's that. So it's 2d4 to everybody in the template. So it's going to be you and the cow. So the first one, this is against Eustace. I'm going to roll damage. And I didn't get any exploding, so I doubt 4 exceeds your toughness.
No, it does not.
Okay, so yeah, you're fine. And then the cow, let me see what I got here. Cows have a toughness of 9, so they're not bad either. So let me roll for the cow. I did get a 4, but oh yeah, I did get a 4. Let me roll one more time. But yeah, even the 6 isn't necessarily going to do any damage to it. But you are now covered with these this swarm. Anna, it is your turn. You're off. You just saw Eustace run past you and just chuck one of his rock gut bottles, kind of coating some of the swarm. This other cow. You saw Ives shoot a like a dog-sized spider literally out of the air. What would you like to do, Anna?
I would like to roll some sort of like luck or something to see whether or not I happen to bring any citrus on us with us as a snack for the day.
Citrus?
Spiders don't like citrus.
Okay. Let me check the stat block to see if that's their vulnerability. Okay. Citrus, huh? Sure.
Just do like a 50-50 roll or something.
Just 50-50. Yeah, just 50-50. Roll a die. We'll do low is good, high is bad.
All right.
Okay. That was a D12. I think you rolled. That's an interesting choice. Most people don't pick the D12, but yeah. We'll say you have like an orange on you.
All right. I'm going to, if I can do this all in one turn, kind of give a quick cut in half and throw both halves at the swarm. Let's see if I can get it to run.
Okay.
Like a whole one isn't going to get the smell out, but if I cut it and throw.
Okay, so you're gonna throw. Okay, this is one of those situations where I like the creativity, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want you to get your hopes up in terms of like what's gonna happen here. Yeah. But yeah, you throw the oranges in there. Sure.
Eustace is right in the middle of it, so I'm not gonna like throw a torch and
sure.
like try to set them on fire right now.
That's fine. Totally fine. Okay. So, so you throw some oranges into the swarm. Are you all set? Are you all done?
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, that's fine. You can do that. No problem. All right. So, Ives, can you roll a notice test? I also, by the way, I'm also going to need Anna and Eustace to roll those fear tests. I totally forgot to have you roll them.
I got a 5.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the fear test again?
It's a spirit roll.
Spirit.
Okay. 4 passed.
Okay. How'd you do, Eustace? Eustace, you have to roll it as well. Just roll a spirit test.
Yeah, I don't know if oh, wait. That's not a skill. Got it.
Could be.
Okay. Eustace, so you failed your spirit test unless you want to Benny that?
Sure. Thanks, Ashley.
Okay. Yes, that's much better.
You ain't
despite the swarm covering on top of you, you managed to kind of hold your nerve. Okay, Ives, you as you kind of turn and run from the corpse of this large tarantula, you don't notice, unfortunately, with a 5, it's not good enough. You don't notice that right next to you, another kind of hole in the ground, like a little burrow, begins to open up. As this isn't working. And you see, and like everyone else who's in the back, you watch as another one of these like dog-sized spiders leaps out and jumps at Ives as he's kind of running away. And it's because you failed, it actually gets the drop.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this is +4 to the character's attack and damage rolls against that target.
Oh god.
And it's gonna literally burrow out of the ground and just leap from its burrow and onto Ives.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so this is gonna be so
ouch.
This is gonna be
Ives, I really enjoyed your company for what little time I knew you.
+4.
Once I'm dead, just go ahead and eat me afterwards. That way I'll always be with you in spirit.
Okay. That is an attack. As a hit with a raise.
Oh no.
And so as you fire one and you start running back to the group, and then another one does the exact same thing. You just don't see it coming. You're like, guys, I got one, as it comes up behind you. Oh gosh, come on! Are you kidding me?
Wow.
But I have bennies too. I can reroll damage, so I will spend a Benny on that. That I'll spend. A
Oh,
Benny on for
man.
sure.
I don't
What
blame
a
you.
shit roll that was.
Wow.
That was fucking terrible. I will spend a Benny to reroll that for sure. So let me. Okay.
Okay.
So 9 damage, so you're shaken.
Okay.
Okay, couple things are gonna also happen here. You are poisoned. So if the players are shaken or wounded by the tarantula's bite, unless you wanted to soak, by the way. So I should have given you the option to soak before we applied any sort of wounds, because I think you could still do it.
Let's just throw Benny out.
Jeremy, can you soak wounds? Can you soak even if you're not taking wounds if you're just taking shaken?
You can spend a Benny anytime to just get rid of shaken.
Okay. All right. But I still think if he does take, I think he's got to soak though, right? Like he would have to soak to not have the shaken apply, because spending a Benny means that you have been shaken at some point, right?
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think he needs to I think if he wants to avoid the poison, I think he needs to soak to prevent shaken from ever happening. Because if
I think
let
it's
shaken
fair.
happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the shaken did happen, which means the poison happened.
Okay.
He can then spend the Benny to get rid of the shaken for free, but
Okay. So,
it's still
Yeah.
got high enough to get the poison in.
okay. So the poison will go through then.
Yeah,
But you can
I'm cool
spend
with
your
that.
Benny to get rid of shaken. That's fine. All right.
Yeah.
So you need to make a vigor roll.
All right. I'll go ahead and throw that Benny out so I can get rid of shaken.
Yes. With Bert said, spend a
And-
Benny, remove shaken, still poison. There you go.
All right. And then what did you say? A vigor roll?
Vigor roll. Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'm curious to see what poison does. I'm gonna let it ride.
No, that's a pass.
Oh, the 4's good. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, 4's
I don't
4's
know why
all
I
you
got
need.
it. Yeah. I keep thinking
Okay.
it's 5.
So that happens to you. Let's see. So that was for the poison. Now you need to make a vigor roll, another vigor roll to prevent being knocked out from the drop. I forgot about that too.
Oh god.
Because if a character takes enough damage to be shaken or worse from an attacker with a drop on him, he has to make a vigor roll or be knocked unconscious.
I'm out.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
You could Benny. I mean, you could re-roll if you want to burn a Benny.
Yeah, because I want to shoot some more stuff. Okay.
Okay, you're good. All right. So you just got shaken, but you burned your Benny. You're fine. Everything's good. You're okay there. No poison doesn't go through, and that's the end of that creature's turn. But another one of these has joined the fray, and Dr. Cuspid, it is now your turn.
I'm looking at the map. I don't believe I have any chance of getting near the swarm with my movement. No, I couldn't quite get to the swarm with my movement. But I could get myself close, and so long as I'm still within 8 spaces of everybody, which I think I am if I'm here.
So Jeremy, you can run,
Mm-hmm.
meaning you can spend your pace die. You can run. You can roll your die and add it to your running score. It does mean though that all your actions are -2 for that turn, but you can still do it without it taking up all of your turn.
I don't want to do that because I want to do something else. So
Okay,
I'll
go for
move towards the swarm, but then I'll use one of my other powers I haven't used yet.
All right.
As he will once again twist that strange overlarge goat's tooth with the bluish hue upon it, get the whirling resonance going. The Bluetooth field begins to emanate, but a different effect happens this time as it begins to call forth large pockets full of just 100 upon 100 of teeth that are stored in hidden pockets of his jacket, as well as there have to be just a numerous amount of teeth in all these dead cows around here. And I'm going to spend some extra power points to make sure that this affects myself, my comrades, and even the cow, because that cow is quite valuable. So that is an
Okay.
additional 2, 3, 4. That's an additional 4. And then I'll roll to see if it actually happens.
Okay, go for it. Oh my god.
4.
This is deflection, right?
No, I'm doing a
this is
different
nothing.
power.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And
Oh,
then
protection. Okay.
So protection, well, so basically what happens is this whirlwind of teeth surrounds every single one of us and covers your entire body as the teeth seem to resonate with the Bluetooth field, and they slightly unfold and then conjoin and cover each other, and your entire body is covered in nothing but teeth as if it were armor.
Beautiful. Including that white cow in the middle.
Including the white cow, so
That's
that
just-
nothing can be seen except for your crazed eyes and your own personal smile.
It's wonderful, man. That's absolutely wonderful.
And so with a raise, that will give everybody 4 more points of toughness.
There you go.
Wow.
Wow.
Now,
How do you?
now, did
how do
you
mark
want to
that on the
add?
sheet?
Did you want to add my my spiders in as well for that? Did you want?
I mean, if there's one of them that gives me like a coy little wink or something, I might think about it.
Okay. All right. Next round. Anna, you're up first. Doesn't look like the swarm has scattered from the orange grenade. You do see that there is a small little like kind of donut-shaped hole in the middle of the swarm where they are kind of avoiding it. But it's so large that it's able to kind of move a few feet away and still manage to swarm over top of Eustace. Maybe if you had a bigger orange or more oranges.
So Anna, I feel like at this point her loyal hindrance is going to come into effect here. And so she is going to take advantage of that thing that you mentioned that I'll need you to explain again. To where I try to run in.
Yeah,
And then I
so
want to try to pull Eustace out.
okay, so yeah, so it's just roll your pace die. Okay, your running die. And add that number to your normal pace. So add 4, so it should be 10 total. So you can move 10 spaces. Your actions are at a -2 this round, though. So I'm going to ask you to make an athletics test to pull him out, to that sort of displace him. And if you can do that, when you roll that, you roll at a -2 because you've spent so much energy running up there. Savvy?
Okay, sorry, I was seeing if my brawny would do anything, but it doesn't. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
rolling athletics. Sorry,
Yeah,
at
so-
a -2.
Yeah.
All right, athletics.
Character moves up,
at
reaches
a-
for Eustace. Eustace, give me your hand. That's not what Anna sounds like.
But the cow, the cow.
9.
Oh yeah, yeah. You managed to just reach out, pull him free. Eustace, you are no longer on top of these things. If you want to just move your character right next to Anna, and you are just on the outside of the swarm. You are free from it. Okay, John, your turn, man. Eyes is up. You just got attacked by this thing. You're not shaken. You spent your Benny,
Yeah.
so you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm going to move. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I want to get right on the edge of the swarm because Eustace did waste some booze to soak some of these spiders, and I've only got one thing that makes fire, so I just not necessarily aiming at him, but I just want to shove one of my pistols down in like the swarm.
Mm-hmm.
And just shoot and hope the muzzle flash is enough to ignite some of the
Okay.
booze.
I will say this though, as you move away from the spider, it does actually get an attack
Or
on you.
opportunity attacks.
There's withdrawing from melee. It's they're like if it had any like specific edges or something like that that would boost its attacks, they don't apply. It's just like a base attack, but it will still get an attack off if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
You're
just gonna
super tough
be
now.
yeah. It's just you are super tough. So even if I hit you, it's gonna be a lot harder to do damage to you. So it's gonna be his bite then, which does hit you. One of the things I should tell you by why it might be you confused is because these things, there's a scale. So in Savage Worlds, there's a scaling system, and since these things are smaller than you, they have a scale rating, and that's actually added to their attack and subtracted from your attack. That's why it says 4. You're like, wait, what? My parry's higher than that, but that's what it is.
Okay.
If you hit a question mark, it'll show you it's got a +4 because you're bigger than it. That's just how it works. And so then it's damage from that, and I need to do really well in this, and I'm rolling shit for damage, so you're fine.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Cuspid. Yeah, and then I stick my pistol down in the swarm and fire a shot, hoping that the muzzle flash will start some of these on fire.
I think that makes perfect sense as it erupts. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you just see the one issue though is that the cow is still in the swarm. So you do see the cow catch on fire as well.
Cow's
I don't
tough.
have. Yeah, but the cow is tough. So it's not necessarily going to. It might not necessarily do nearly as much damage. So you said +4, right?
Mm-hmm. So he was
right.
at a 9, so now it's 13.
Yeah.
13
so-
toughness. That's
You know, I figured this might happen. I'm calling it a calculated risk, but I do want to remind everyone that I'm real bad at math. Meh.
Trying to see if there's a specific. Here we go. Hazards, fire. Let's see. Spot, contact, steam, bonfire, burning room. We'll call this 2d6. So roll 2d6 worth of damage, and that's how much damage it's going to do to everything within that. Basically the swarm. So the swarm and the cow. So roll 2d6. Chuck.
Okie dokie. 8.
Okay. So for that will exceed the tarantula's toughness.
Nice.
Okay. It will not exceed the cow's toughness, so the cow is still there. But you guys watch as the fire erupts. You do notice that between the fire and we'll say the citrus, you notice that the swarm itself kind of splits off, with half of it kind of running up north a little bit and away, and the other half kind of moving southeast. They're all kind of scattering away from the fire, as mechanically, when this thing takes a wound, it splits into 2 smaller swarms. So that's kind of what's happening. So like you can see them kind of running away from that central area where the cow kind of caught on fire.
Okay. And then I do want to do my 2-gun fighting. After I pull a shot to light them on fire, I'll just turn back around and take a second shot at the big spider.
Oh yeah, with your other gun. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. And I have a -2 on this because it's my offhand. Nope, with that -2, it's a
That was a
3.
miss. Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
that's my
Eustace, you just got pulled out of the swarm. There's a bit of a fire on the ground. The cow looks to have taken a few burns, but it quickly snuffed out, so it doesn't look like it's caught on permanent fire. You can tell it's severely wounded, but it does still seem to be breathing. Ives is shooting at another one of these dog-sized spiders to the south. Cuspid is right next to you, and there's 2 sort of split swarms now, as the larger swarm has kind of like scattered into 2 different groups. What would you like to do?
I'll turn to Anna and I'll be like, I only got 1 more bottle. And I'll move down and I'll attack this one with the broken bottle of the good shit that I had.
Yeah.
As I'll stab out towards the spider.
All right. I think we added the improvised stuff in there too.
You did. Thank you very much.
You got it, man. So I put 1 for light, medium, and heavy. So just whatever. There's descriptions for each too, so you know which one to pick. Okay.
Oh, I came up as fighting -2.
So so improvised weapons. Do you have anything for improvised weapons that prevents the
No.
penalty? Okay,
No.
so then
Okay,
that's
so-
a miss.
All right.
So you stab out at it,
And,
but manages to shift a bit.
okay. Well, let's just have some fun. I'll go ahead and spend a Benny.
Okay.
Nope,
Yeah.
not enough.
You lunge out at it, and the thing is just small and spry, and it's kind of dodging around here and there, and it manages to avoid your attack. Cuspid, it's your turn. You guys all got to go before it. This game hates me.
It sure is throwing you dirt rolls.
It is. I feel like I'm getting screwed.
Yeah.
It's okay.
all right.
This
Well, I'm
is just to
terribly
soften
sorry
you guys
about
up.
your bad luck here, and I do believe
Not.
I think I will pop out my little handle with the whip there, and I'll go for the spider.
Ooh,
With
Carlin
my-
has redeemed 616. You know what that means?
Yellow sign on us.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Okay.
As the blue monofilament BT field surrounded by teeth like a chainsaw will whip out at that spider.
All right.
Is that a raise by chance?
That is a raise. Yeah, it's a. No, it's not. I'm sorry.
Well,
I lied.
It's a ranged attack.
Oh yeah, it's
but
a
he's
ranged attack.
small.
So, but he is small. So his. So I mean, scale wise, it's a -4. So you
Okay.
did a so it would be a 5.
Okay,
so
it's not
that
a
9
raise.
would be a 5. So it's not a raise, but it still hits. Obviously,
It still
It's a
hits.
five.
That's good enough.
Oh Jesus! What is it? I mean, it's not even making sense for me to even Benny and soak or anything like that. What
Oh
does
my
this look
gosh.
like when you destroy it?
As the toothy chain whip whips out around, it wraps the thing around, and then just recoils back and just chainsaws the thing into about 7 different separate pieces, and it erupts into a gore-filled, amazing scenery.
All over Ellsworth, of course, is just spider blood and bits and stuff as it just
Just like
explodes in front of you, Ellsworth. Basically,
Ghostbusters level nonsense, just
Yes.
all over you.
it's like there's no possible way there was that much fluid inside of that thing. Like, how did that happen?
I hate it when I get something stuck in between my teeth.
Ew.
Ew.
All the teeth covering me, you know.
And then
I
I
get it.
do I get a movement?
Of course, yeah.
So this may be a silly ask, but I do have my light armor duster, and I'm right next to that swarm.
Mhm.
I would almost like to just hold my duster tight and just for my movement roll across the swarm.
Yeah. Let's do like
if
an
that's too much,
athletic.
I get you.
Do an athletics test. We'll see if you'll see if you manage to sort of like, because there's like some rocky stuff there. Just do an athletics test or something like that.
Okay,
See if you
I
can.
will.
If you pass it, then we'll say you get damage. Yeah,
I'm gonna Benny that.
go for it. Yeah, if you pass, you can do like what 2d4, I think. I'm trying to think, because there's like a stomp thing that you can do to them. Oh, that's scared. Okay, roll your strength. So you can inflict your damage and strength.
Meh.
Yeah, not enough to do
I'll Benny
anything.
that too.
Okay.
Oh come on, that's okay.
Okay.
But you just see
All
this
right.
ridiculous dentist just roll around on spiders.
So you roll around it, and you like kind of get on the other side or so by Ives. You can situate yourself if you want it to be something different. The swarm, the northernmost swarm, will go because there's now the swarms are for some reason not on. Oh, that's right, because I switched to the other thing. That's why they're not on here. So yeah, it's gonna come on top of Anna, and the other one's gonna come on top of Ives, and I think it can get Ives, the cow, and Cuspid. And it's going to do 2d4 damage. So 2d4 onto Anna. And this will, if it explodes, I can keep going. And you guys, don't forget you still have your boosted armor. So 8 points. Does that break your toughness, Anna?
No, it does not. I currently have 10.
Okay. And so the next one onto Cuspid. Man, I am exploding. Oh, I get 2 more.
Wow.
Oh, Cuspid. Oh, Cuspid. My Cuspid,
Made it.
my Cuspid.
You made him mad.
Cuspid, that's 14.
Damn you! I'm shaking and I'm out of bennies.
You're shaking?
Oh.
Because my toughness is
Okay.
8, 4 gets me to 12, but it's
Okay. I need you to roll a vigor test. You're all right. As they were trying to poison you again.
I'm sure.
Okay. All right.
My
And
dumbass
then
is rolling around in them.
onto Ives, 2d4. And Looks like you're fine, Ives, as nothing exploded. That was only 5. And then onto the cow. This poor cow, still hanging in there. That's another explode. Look at this. Come on, come on, come on. Let's kill this fucking cow. That's 8. That's not enough. Okay, so that's the end of that round. And we'll move on. Both the large tarantulas are unfortunately dead. And Ives, you got a joker. Everyone take a Benny.
Yay! Cuspid has a Benny.
And you guys go first. You guys should be able to, so I'll tell you this, like, you guys have fought these things enough to sort of notice that shooting them, stabbing them doesn't really work, but stomping on them will. Any kind of blunt stuff will probably work. Fire would be great. Any of that kind of stuff would work. But just, yeah, so like literally if you just kind of stand there, you can just say, I want to stomp them, and it's an automatic hit. You don't even have to roll to hit. It's just you roll your strength die.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
It's either that or I get my cast iron skillet out of my pack and I'll just stomp on them.
All right, go for it. Just roll your strength. I'll tell you that their toughness is 7. If you want to Benny that. So that's not enough to breach.
We did just get a Benny. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
you just
Benny
got
it.
your Joker Benny.
Can do it.
You can do. There you go.
I've got a 7.
And you do, in fact, manage to stomp out enough of the spiders in this swarm that they start to disperse. Some of them kind of burrow down back underneath the ground, and one of the 2 remaining swarms is now left. And the only thing that's left up still is the one on Anna, but it is going to be Dr. Cuspid next, who's shaken.
Okay, so I need to make a spirit check.
Yeah, and
You
he
have
just
a
got a
Benny.
Benny. Yeah, but he gets this for free, and then he can spend it if he fails.
I'll try my spirit check for free, and
Sure.
if it doesn't work, then I'll...
Yeah. Oh, gosh. You're fine. You're going to live forever.
I'm full of vim and vinegar.
Okay. All right, Cuspid.
And I'm just gonna do a diving belly flop into the spider's next to Anna.
She comes running up. Whee! Go ahead and roll your strength die. Oh, goodness.
I'm not a terribly strong man, but I have more courage than sense.
Oh, that's explode. Oh, my gosh. Describe how you kill this swarm, please.
Just with no regard for his own safety, this mad doctor would dive towards you, Anna, and then just roll around upon them, elbows and knees going everywhere. Take that, stupid mandibles! Mandibles are the poor man's teeth. They're worthless.
And so ends the second of these smaller swarms as you stand up, and there are just dozens of absolutely smushed spiders all over your duster, which is now covered in spider blood stains everywhere. But it is in fact dead. The enemies do seem to have been routed, and you guys are still standing. Ridiculous. Body belly flopping to them. All right.
Otto is definitely like eyes wide as sort of this vision of Dr. Cuspid just sort of running.
All you see is like these bloodshot mad eyes, otherwise encompassed in teeth.
Yeah. How long does that last, by the way?
What?
5 rounds.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I can extend it further if you like.
Oh no, thank you. Because you're gonna see Anna get up and she's just, sort of like looking at it and looking at you and just sort of it's gonna much appreciated.
Oh, of course, anything. Miss Anna, you have been nothing but courteous and very helpful here. I would do anything to make sure that you are kept quite safe and well.
Well, I think we've saved some many cattle here today, taking out this blight of creepy crawlies. And she just kind of gives another shudder and removes any spider carcasses from her person.
That was awful creative. What you did there. I want to thank you for inciting the incisors.
Well, I have to say that your sacrifice of the good stuff in order to get the fire percolating earlier was inspiring.
Oh, so it was an inspiring inciting of the incisors.
That reminds me.
Eustace, that is some fine alliteration. I like that.
Well, all's well with alliteration.
And he's lost.
Allegory?
Allegory.
I'm gonna go gather up some of the crispy spiders.
Sure. You can gather some crispy spiders and looking around, you notice a few things. The cow you've managed to save, so it does not beyond healing, and so you're able to kind of patch it up pretty similarly. Unfortunately, there are numerous cows that have suffered in various stages of desiccation. So some look to have been here for a very long time, some more recently within the past few days. And you also notice one human body that seems to have been caught up in this as well. But yeah, that's what you see in the area.
Is there anything recognizable? Does this appear like
roll a notice test? Yeah, roll a notice test.
Okay.
It's crazy as I pull out my Bowie knife. Poor guy didn't have any teeth.
It's true. He
you know
doesn't
what,
have any teeth left.
I'll Benny that. Why
Sure.
not? 5.
Okay. You notice two interesting things. I mean, obviously, you notice he's sort of suffered from the similar bites that the rest of these cows have. Looks like he's been dead a few times, or a few days, excuse me. A few times. He's a hound. But you notice two interesting things. One, you notice that there is a railroad spike in his chest, like stabbed right through his chest, all the way through. And secondly, you do in fact recognize the clothes and like even though the skin has sort of been tied back against, the bones a bit from the loss of fluids, it certainly looks like the piano player from The Lonely Crow.
We didn't kill him, did we?
No.
Yes. What a shame. What a shame. I'm going to see if I can collect any venom.
I think we might want to bring this poor sap back to town and see if he's got any kin that want
We
to take
could.
care of him.
I would imagine that this is probably a message from them people we done pissed off.
Does seem.
I bet they done left this body here and lured some of our cows to this spider nest to mess us up. Anyway, I got some teeth to dig out of his skull. If you excuse me, I'm gonna squeeze on by and scooch on over.
Not this one. You're not this piano man here.
He's not using them, and Dr. Cuspid could.
And so Anna has hoisted him up over her shoulder and going back to the horse.
I mean, I do not want Miss Anna to feel untoward by any means, but I tell you, Mr. Ives, would you be so kind as to help me with this large spider over here? I want to see if I can extract any of its venom.
Oh yeah, sure thing. You doing the cutting or you want me to?
I believe perhaps I would be the more experienced of the cutting. You seem to be more the shooting type.
All right. Yeah, I'll help you hold it, cut its venom out.
Is there being an experienced extractor, whereas you would be an exception to the extraction?
Listen, Eustace,
I'll extricate myself.
you start drinking, man. Your words hurt my head, I swear. Some fierce.
Well,
I've seen watch as Rotgut the horse is like sneaking up almost comically behind Ellsworth and is trying to reach down with its mouth to snatch the last good bottle of Rotgut.
Oh, you hang on. You hang on. We'll get that to when the day's over, and then we can pontificate the possibilities of preternatural palanquins. I don't know.
Oh God, Cuspid, roll a survival test to pull the teeth out and or the poison out and everything, and then we can advance. And what are you doing with the body, Anna? The human body.
So just kind of draping him in front of the saddle, and so Anna's going to ride back with the body on her horse.
Sure, no problem.
So I hear you ask for, is there any chance I could try to use healing or perhaps mad science with a penalty?
Sure. Let's do either of those or the -2.
Okay. They're the same. But given the nature of how I like to do things, I'm going to do my mad science with -2.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
I despise mandibles. As I said, the poor man's teeth. Worthless. I wouldn't even want your venom anyways. Stupid spiders. I hate you, bugs.
Well, I gotta say, Doctor, though, the smaller ones that are cooked up, if you crack their legs and suck the meat out like a crab or lobster leg, it's pretty good.
Mr. Ives, I've become very fond of you, but I believe we had an earlier discussion about not eating poisonous creatures you don't fully understand.
They're not poisonous. They're
venomous.
venomous.
Yes,
as long as I don't eat their faces, I'm okay.
You know, Mr. Ives, I'm not in a position to argue with your logic.
Hey, wait a minute.
Trust me, I got experience here.
So, poor man's teeth, you can't use mandibles. But there's a certain power and mysticism from teeth.
Oh, of course, they are the gateway to the soul, you see. Now, people like to say the eyes are the gateway to teeth.
Yeah.
That's the lies, because we see your eyes taking
the eyes are
reflections.
lies.
They subvert it. It is a reflection. It is a lie, but no, teeth. They are what tear. They are what gnash. They will bring in the resources that allow your body to renew itself, to move forward, to have energy. No, teeth are where it's at, son.
Okay. Well, so why you... How does that work? I mean, like, I didn't see no teeth come anywhere but just sprouting out of my skin. So you saying that I'm made from teeth?
Yes. As you see Dr. Cuspid begin to try to think of an explanation and then just take the shortcut for the conversation.
Well,
Conversation.
If I'm made from teeth, then how come I can't taste things by holding them?
Well, because teeth are for chewing, the tongue's for tasting. You're not made of tongues, you're made of teeth.
Mr. Ives.
See?
All right.
At this point, Anna has loaded the man onto the horse.
You're
She's
surrounded
just, like,
by mad
All the
back
cows
at
are going
all
with
and
you.
She's just like, are we going back anytime soon?
It is getting kind of dark.
Yeah, I'll get going. I'm gonna grab a few road spiders and I'll hop on my horse.
Road spiders.
Boss lady doesn't want me to
Couple
become
roadies.
your apostle or your disciple or whatever, but I am curious.
Well, I'm glad to extrapolate upon it at any time.
Well, we can only extrapolate when the time is extra. Right now, we're running short of it. And I will continue, and then I will walk over and help Anna.
Okay. Oh my God. I hate puns. Okay. Okay. All right. So you take the body. You got your cows. I presume you'll probably leave all the dead. There's just too much here to bother. But you salvage what you can. And more than once, like, you hear like a couple rumbles and stuff below the earth, and you can start to see that there's some webs and things kind of in some of the trees around here and the rocks. And you probably best not to linger too long, as there might be more of these things in the area. But you managed to get the body. You managed to get all that situated, and you work your way back. You reach camp right around sunset. And you get back to the Lazy Ranch, and you can see that folks have already kind of started to line up for chow around the chuck wagon. Mr. Javier Ortega is kind of spooning something out. You get a fairly warm welcome from folks once they see you come back with a fair number of lost doggies. People kind of look a little bit on a kind of askance in a bit as there's a kind of another body kind of draped over. But before like the conversations really kind of get too far on that, as it definitely seems as though there's a few questions that folks are looking to ask. You look over and you can see sort of near the gate that kind of comes onto the property of the Lazy S Ranch. You can see there's a handful of riders that are approaching, and you can see that Bill Sutter and the foreman Luke are kind of both sort of standing out front as this posse of folk just sort of rumbles on through while everyone's kind of hanging out around the chow. Let me show you the Lazy S Ranch scene. Actually, I don't think I've shown you this yet. As yeah, you watch a handful of folks just start kind of coming on in, and you can see that Bill immediately kind of moves up to intercept as the people start coming in. And what you see is you start counting them up. There's 6 fairly surly looking gunmen, one of whom you recognize as, I think it was Henry or Harry from the Lonely Crow. You see a fairly well-dressed man who seems to be leading the posse, and he's got these shiny Colt revolvers on either side of his belt, and this kind of black hat just sort of tipped ever so slightly askance. You also notice this other figure kind of skirting around in the back, this kind of hard-looking Native American man with looks like some kind of army jacket, and he's got these different like bangles and fetishes and stuff here and there. If anybody would like to, you can roll a notice -2, as everyone's just kind of like peeking out from over by the fire where the chuck wagon is, as Sutter and Luke seem to kind of try to intersperse themselves before the posse gets too close and too far into the property.
Nine for Anna.
Okay, is anybody so you got a raise? Anybody else have a raise?
I got a 1.
You don't notice anything. You're staring too longingly at the beans in front of you, but you do notice, Anna, that the bullet hole, that there are like tons of bullet holes all over the blue cloth of his army jacket, just tons of them, like all over the place. And he's just sort of moving back and forth. And as you watch, you notice that that figure is just kind of doesn't take his eyes off Sutter. And he's got this like horrible, angry look, and it's like just real, like, I want to say it's weathered, but at the same time, like the brow is furrowed, and you can tell just from looking at them that they've got beef perhaps with Sutter. The rest of the gunmen are just kind of looking around, kind of getting the lay of the land. It doesn't look like they haven't come in guns blazing or anything like that, and it looks like the well-dressed man and Sutter are like fixing to talk, but the rest of them are kind of like just kind of scanning about. A lot of ranch hands are all over the place here and there. Some of them are still finishing up a few chores, but you can see that people are slowly beginning to kind of mingle over. But as like Sutter comes out, he's got like a kind of shotgun, kind of leaning down on the ground, kind of isn't pointing anything. And you guys are in kind of earshot, kind of close enough to hear as the well-dressed man, he's like, "Well, good day to you, Mr. Sutter. My name is Bartholomew Phelps, and I am a representative of the Bayou Vermilion Railroad, and I am here to purchase your cattle at the agreed-upon price of $5 a head." And you can see, like, immediately, like, Sutter like picks up the shotgun, kind of puts it in, like it's no longer pointed at the ground. Now it's kind of across his chest. And he's just like, I told you, I ain't selling nothing. I ain't gonna sell nothing to you, and I ain't gonna sell nothing else around here. So you can quit your asking. I told you once, and I'm not gonna tell you again. And then you see like Phelps, like in his horse, just kind of starts to like trot around. And all of you, with the exception of Eustace, who hasn't picked up on this yet.
No, he's too busy mean mugging him.
Well, no, because you don't even really notice that he's actually looking at you guys. He's literally watching you guys. And so
No,
like
I'm looking at the guy from the bar. Just
okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And he's like, well, that is most disappointing there, but I suppose anybody who harbors ruthless murderers who cut down my employees while they are merely attending Sunday services, well, I suppose one such as that is certainly not going to settle on our agreed upon price. But rest assured, and he starts speaking really loudly now, so like all of you can kind of hear, and other people are starting to kind of close up. Rest assured, authorities have been notified, witnesses have been interviewed, justice will be served, and recompense will be had. Now, harboring these fugitives, Mr. Sutter, will do you no favors with my superiors. Best you just hand them over into my capable hands and accept our most generous offer of $5 a head on your cattle. And you can see like him and Luke are just kind of starting to like kind of staring at everyone. They both got kind of guns in their hands. Are you guys doing anything in this situation?
Making sure my pieces are little cords off the top of them. Hammers are back. Start moving up kind of behind the crowd coming up on them.
This guy that was at the bar, he was the one that we let go and he was nice to, right?
You let him go. I don't think nice is how
We
any
stitched him
sane
up.
person would categorize this.
Yes.
We were nice.
You were terrorizing him. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we sent him on his way.
I walk up so close to him, just like rancid breath.
Adam, I want to be very, very clear. When you say they're hanging well back, and like you can see that Sutter and Phelps, there's a good 15 feet between them as they're talking.
Sure.
So are you gonna literally close the distance and get in the face of one of them?
Not quick like. I'm just walking at an easy pace, just staring at him, the one that's from the bar. So
Okay.
yeah, like I don't have anything in my hands, but I'm
I just think even Eustace would know that doing something like this is liable to literally get himself shot. Like I want to be abundantly clear to give you every chance to.
yeah.
Okay.
So he kind of looks around. Like he will do that thing where he starts to walk forward, and then the rest of the other guys are going to start, reaching for their hips and stuff. And you still stop, kind of think things over, and he'll just not move any closer, but he'll keep staring down the one that was in the bar.
So
Anna's the same as John, just kind
okay.
of gun at the ready, but is kind of letting those two have their conversation.
Yeah, like anybody who gets close enough probably to like potentially get in front of Luke or in front of Bill, you can see Luke will immediately put his hand up and just try like this ain't like just wait. You kind of get that feeling. You can push past him, but you can see he puts his hand up like you guys outnumber them for sure, but if bullet starts flying, there's going to be dead on both sides. Pretty clear. Like you hear kind of Luke just mumble that under his breath to y'all as anybody who starts moving up gets close.
Yeah, no, I'm just stalking in the background.
Okay.
Waiting to see if something pops off.
I was initially rather excited to join Eustace, but I suppose he has shown a reasonable amount of reason.
I'm wondering if your teeth have any skin in the game.
You do seem to have mended well, sir.
And you just hear like the voice of the guy kind of whisper, "That's them right there, sir. Mr. Phelps. Them right there. That's the one who killed Bobby and Jimmy and Daryl and Larry and wherever the hell their names were, but they killed them, and all we were doing was praying. We were just learning the good book. Now, Henry or Harry or whatever your name is, I don't much care. But Mr. Sutter, I believe this is what we call a last offer. $5 per head, and we don't have to have any more issues here, especially if you hand over those that killed our boys. I would think even someone such as you would be much against someone who's just sitting there trying to get their Sunday revelry.
Wait a second. What have you heard? And I'll turn to the guy accusing us of murder. What was you told?
Luke turns to you and says, like, boy, shut the hell up. What the hell is wrong with you? This ain't your drive. As he's like, Sutter's not even really paying attention to you. And like, but like the minute like you start kind of talking out of turn, like Sutter just like, or Luke just gets all kind of pissed off. He's like, boy, shut your mouth. Just shut up. And Sutter like pulls up a shotgun and just kind of points it directly at Phelps. And he says, I don't much care for your story, and I don't really much care to hear any more of it. But I can tell you this, that $5 a head ain't a fair price, and there ain't no way I'm selling to you. Now, if you don't want me to let my crazy little bulldog off his leash, because you can see him raring, and he kind of points his thumb right back at you without even looking at you, Eustace. He just sort of like thumb right in your direction. I suggest you take your boys, you turn right back around and go the way you came, or it ain't just going to be the cattle prices that are dropping. And he just like kind of cocks the shotgun at that point. You just see like Mr. Phelps is just sort of like looking and calculating. If you guys want to do anything, you can do something now too.
Yeah, Eustace will just he starts like foaming at the mouth.
I would like to cover him in teeth so he can be extra scary.
Okay. Eustace, roll intimidation and take a +1 from Cuspid's teeth cast, and he just cast that to you.
Oh, I don't think I have intimidate trained. So I'm just gonna roll untrained. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
+1.
Four is still good.
Still a success.
You watch as the guy that you guys terrorize, he's just like, he just kind of slowly starts to try to back his horse back a bit. And he tries to kind of turn it, and he just falls out of the saddle as he's just kind of stumbling around. And like a couple of the other guys kind of help him up at that point here and there. But like he just looks like the utter fool as he falls over.
I'm pretty sure the one on the left lobe was your friend's.
As soon as the one hits the ground, Eustace will like start barking at him, but somehow magically be behind Dr. Cuspid, like he's being held back. And he'll be like,
We're the good guys.
Yeah. So Phelps just kind of looks over at Eustace, and you can see he doesn't like this doesn't faze him. Like it definitely a couple of other guys or whatever, and you can still see the sort of the Native American guy kind of moving around in the back. He hasn't even looked at anything but Sutter the whole time. Like he's just kind of pacing back and forth on his like black horse, kind of moving one back to the other. And every time he's just kind of sticking in his head, kind of turns when he sort of rotates, and he's constantly looking at Sutter. All the other guys a couple of them are starting to get a little bit nervous here and there. A couple of the horses kind of shaking. The one that Harry or Henry, he gets helped back up, but even he's kind of like backing away a little bit, and he's like, I know math, and they got more than us. And Mr. Phelps, yeah, go ahead.
I want to have tasted me a liar. They taste extra sweet. Well, come on, just let me at them.
Well, Mr. Sutter, appears we are at a bit of an impasse here, and I can see we are no longer in a mood for negotiation, it seems. So I will go ahead and take the higher ground, and I will take my gentleman here behind me, and I will return to my employers, and I will pass along the decision you have made, both that which you have verbalized and that which you have not. As he looks over at Eustace, I see how. I suppose they'll probably want to send reinforcements and additional negotiators, perhaps those who might be able to put a better exclamation on the situation at hand. But you all have a wonderful evening, and get that dog a treat, I think. And he kind of like winks at Eustace at that point. And they start kind of trotting away. He's just like very, very slowly, just kind of like doing the whole like really thin kind of shifting in the saddle. He's got like a Timothy Oliphant look to him. But then he kind of turns over like as he leaves, and he just kind of looks back at everybody, and he says, praise Jack, I hear, is, but I don't see him around here. Isn't that a pity? Well, maybe next time. And then just kind of continues, just sort of slowly meandering down the road at that point. It's all of them kind of start doing it. And at this point, there's a bunch of other ranch hands that are here. They don't have guns. Most of them don't have guns, but you can see they've picked up like tools, like an axe here, a shovel there and stuff. And it's really kind of starting to look kind of ugly at this point. But most of the people here, they're not cowboys like you. They're not like, I should say, armed like you are. Most of them are just workers. You know, they're not like walking around with like six shooters on their wrists and stuff. So
Eustace will look at Sutter like waiting for direction.
You can breathe now, buddy. It's fine. I would appreciate it though if understand that this here is my drive. It's my name. Sutter's Flats, the Lazy S. It's my money that's on the line here, and there'll be a time, don't worry, where I damn well want to let that dog off the leash, but until such time as there is not necessarily a better option, I think we just try to expedite our exit from this area and our movement north up the drive.
So I was supposed to let him lie like that?
Let who lie?
That one dumb fuck that we let live and was all nice to and passed him up, and then he went back and told him we was mean.
You're nice to him after you killed 3 or 4 of his friends.
Well, yeah, because they was holding up the place and about to murder people. It wasn't no Sunday church service. They wasn't being all pious and Pontius.
Well,
they was being more like Pilate and just giving everything up.
I don't think there's much of what that fella said that was true at all. So
well, he just went and washed his hands of it.
I think there are a bit bigger fishes to fry than a man telling a fib here or two. Your bodies that have been adding up. There's threats coming down from a very powerful railroad constabulary, or I think that's the right word. But some cowardly yellow fella there lying about a thing or two. I don't think there's anyone here who believed a darn thing he had to say. Don't worry. That's just one of their ways.
All right.
Well, okay.
He goes and he sits down at the campfire like nothing's wrong.
Anna will explain to the body that we brought in, because I don't think we've had a chance to kind of talk to Sutter directly about that.
Luke looks over at Bill. He's like, that is one strange boy. I tell you, I don't. First, he gets a horse drunk, and it works. And now he's barking like a dog. And okay, he's on our side, I guess. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What were you gonna say, Anna?
Anna's just making sure that Sutter kind of has the information about the man from town with the railroad spike.
Okay. Well, and like you show him the spike. You say something about the spike to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll like a notice or something if you want. If you like.
Oh, Benny, that why not?
Yeah, we're almost done.
There we go, 6.
Okay. So you notice as he talks that he's got, like, when you show him the spike, he has kind of a very clear reaction. Like you can see, like he's trying to hide it, but there is like a sense of recognition, perhaps, like when you start describing like how the man was found and like how it was like in this like big bed of spiders and how there was like a spike and all that kind of stuff. You kind of go through the whole process and you can tell that. But as he's talking, you can tell he's kind of trying to like keep that recognition down. Instead, he's talking about other things. He's just saying, "Now, don't you want any of y'all to be worried? There ain't no one here, no one in my drive's gonna turn y'all in. As far as I'm concerned, everything y'all did was above board. You probably did the town service. So, ain't nothing to worry about there. And I'm sorry I didn't mention nothing to any of y'all that they were offering to sell. But I'll tell you what, man, $5 a head, we can get a whole lot more from anyone trying to ship beeves to the maze well up north. So I said no. They've been driving prices down here. They've been denying people access to the railroad. They're trying to control everything. And that's why we're getting the hell on out of here. So we can handle what they got now, but I don't like the sound of that there reinforcements because there's a couple dozen of us and we might be able to get another hand or two from some of the neighboring ranches, but pulling the whole ire of the Bayou Vermilion in our direction is probably not necessarily gonna allow us to be the victor in the end. So I think it's probably about time we pick up stakes and get on going.
Sounds
Like
about
a
right.
plan there.
So you said that we did the town a service.
Yep.
So we did the town a service while they
Yep.
was having a service.
Boy, I don't know what happened to you as a young child, but someday maybe you'll tell us about it. Someday. Whew. Maybe
Lots of things.
maybe less rock gut for you. Maybe keel on back of that a little bit. Just
Oh no, you don't want to
just a
see me
smidgen.
without it. No, you don't want to see that.
he considers that for a minute. He's like, "Yeah, you might make a point there. That might be true."
Anna will actually jump in and say he actually had to use one of his bottles when we were out there. So if you happen to have any in supply that we can take with us on this drive,
Yeah, I've only got one left.
Well, in the morning, you all can head out with Anna back to town. Maybe you can pick up a few more of them bottles from old Mr. Davenport at the Lonely Crow. Kind of stock us up for the ride. Maybe do any kind of last business you need, but then we're gonna get on out of here, I think.
sounds about time.
Don't really want anyone going anywhere by themselves, so you'll keep my niece company tomorrow and make sure she comes back just fine. And I'm pretty sure all the folks around here will definitely love you just a smart bit more than they are to do if you can bring back a few more cases of that. It's going to be a ride before we're going to be able to get some more, so get plenty. You might want to just clean them on out completely. We got money to pay, though, so that's not Davenport's a decent fella, so the last couple bit of coin in his pocket before he leaves the least thing we can do after shooting up his establishment.
Will do, and we'll keep an eye on Abby.
Okay. All right. Now I got to go ahead and talk to Luke now. And you can see the two of them kind of exchange a look. And they start walking away. But there's a lot. All of you could probably, well, everyone but Eustace can probably sense that there's some tension between the two of them. You can definitely tell that they're arguing about something as they start kind of moving off northward towards the shack to the northwest there. And that kind of move out of earshot. But you can tell that Luke's mad about something. Like Luke's like kind of yelling at him for some reason. And so there's like something kind of going on between them right there as they move into the shack, close the door, and we'll go ahead and end for the night as we are at time. Okay. It's hard to get.
You wouldn't like to see him sober.
I was so new. I thought Adam, like you were going up. I'm like, shit, we're gonna have a shootout here. I'm like, I think you guys will win this, but I think someone's gonna get killed before that winning happens. There's a lot of
probably
gun
be
in there.
me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you were up front, Yeah.
I would have gone with you. It would have been
I
worth
figured
it.
I was nervous. I was like, if I present this to them, I think it's better than 50-50. They pick the fight. Like, like I think, yeah, I was reading this. I was reading this accounting. I'm like, I don't know. I think they might pick this fight. I think they might look at them odds and be like, okay.
You see,
And
there's
then-
a thing that when the GM tells you, are you really sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Because you'll get shot, and you're like, okay, would it be metagaming if I did this, or is it in the possibility? If
Well,
it's
it's
in the
one of those things
possibility,
where,
you
like,
should probably do it.
It's one of those things where it's just like, you never know how, like, I think Eustace would probably be aware of, like, this situation is such that, like, moving into, like, the no man's land between two posses staring themselves down with, like, and, like, we're just waiting for someone to flinch, that's way more than a flinch. And so that would probably start the bullets flying. So it's just a question of, you still could have done it. Don't worry. I have all the,
No,
I had it ready to go in case you guys really did commit to it.
Anna
Don't worry.
would definitely have tried to pull her friend back.
Yeah, no, I thought that I was like real close to the guy that was doing the line anyway. So I just, I didn't realize it was clear across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to keep it like with the tokens, like that there was that like good 15 feet of space or so in between.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me go ahead and switch this on over. All right. Well,
road.
Yeah, finally. Got to go get some booze in the morning, and maybe Jack's been boozing up in town, and we got to go pick him up too, and then we'll get the hell out of here. All right, let's do a final roundtable. If people got stuff going on, Jeremy, where are you at this week?
I'm gonna hang out with Chuck on Wednesday, and then look forward to hanging out with you again next Monday.
Yeah. Adam, Grim and Perilous, what's going on?
There's a lot going on. We have a whole lot busier week than normal going on our Patreon, where we just did a Mechanics Monday today, talking about some mechanics and Flames of Freedom. We will be giving our first ever insight into character perspectives for our brand new session that we just released for Radiator. So if you're really into that story and you want to get some more insight from what each character was thinking, you can read their journal entries. And then Wednesday, we'll be showing off an almost complete cover of Divinity Unleashed. And Thursday, we'll get to see a few roughs from our upcoming unannounced game. And then Friday, there'll be some more Radiator action. So if you want to know what is going on with Grim and Perilous Studios and what we're creating, that's the place to go.
Nice. Very nice. Chuck, Defenders.
Yeah, well, Adam, you missed it. Tuesday,
Oh, I did
6:30
miss it.
p.m. Twitch.tv/Grim and Perilous Plays. We're going to be playing some Tribes of Midgard.
Yeah.
Wednesday, we're doing some Forbidden Lands. We're in the D&D basic setting, Thunder Rift. I don't think I've got anything Thursday. Friday, we're doing Shadowrun using the Year Zero engine. And then Saturday, I think we're back for some more Darkest House. Is that right?
I have no knowledge. No, we're not, because this weekend is his weekend. He's Steven's doing his little Dungeons and Dragons thing this weekend. I think his away.
I thought he said he was driving back to run it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because it's only like 15 minutes away or something. So yeah, I guess we are still playing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Darkest House Saturday.
Okay.
Thursday, we're doing something local.
Right on. Let's see. As for Melissa and I, this Friday, we're going to be doing our wrap-up, kind of look back on our Impossible Landscapes campaign for Delta Green. And then time permitting, I think we're going to do our character creation for Traveler, as we're going to be starting up playing some Traveler on Fridays for a little bit. Assuming Melissa and I figure out how to do Traveler creation correctly. But yeah, it seems pretty fun. Yeah, I think so too. Saturday, One Ring, second edition. We have that going strong. And next Monday, we will be playing UVG in this place. So we alternate UVG and Deadlands. And so you'll catch Deadlands in 2 weeks. And hopefully we can figure out whether or not Jack has survived his encounter with his gang of child hosers, and if he can come back to help the party. We'll find out. But yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put us on the end screen. I'm gonna go ahead and rate someone. If you want to hang tight, follow the rate. Watch somebody else on Monday. And thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.